Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, and welcome to the Global Career Forum, the international online recruiting event organized for the MBA students from top business schools. We welcome you to today's online session with Jeeny, and we have the pleasure to welcome for this live session our keynote speaker, Mohammad Arslan, Head of Operations at the Jeeny. As this is a live Q&A session, I do invite all participants to ask your questions in the Q&A panel on the top right side, and we'll convey them to the speakers. Mohammad, warm welcome.
Hi, Zana. Welcome.
Hi. So perhaps to kick off this session, can I ask you please to share just a little bit more of your background, how you started, also your journey at the Jeeny?
Yeah, definitely. Actually, I'm from Pakistan. So I started working with Jeeny almost like 5 years from now. It wasn't Jeeny at that time, so we started a company with the name of Easy Taxi. You guys might be more familiar with the Easy Taxi because internationally it's renowned more like with the name of Easy Taxi. In the kingdom, we just rebranded it to the Jeeny name for the Middle East. So it started like 5 years. I was the one of the founder that started in the kingdom, and now, alhamdulillah, we are on a good position in the kingdom. As we were the pioneer, we get the benefit of that.
Excellent. And what is your role today at the company? What is your basically what are your day-to-day tasks? How does your day look like?
Yeah, actually, I'm totally managing the operations in the country. We are operating in 4 cities in the kingdom, and then we have the Jordan. We have 1 city in the Jordan. Okay, that we're working. I'm mainly looking for the operations in the cities. So mainly the role involves the analysis of the data, and then the management of the operations team. Like definitely every city has their own operations team. Every city has the operations manager. So I have to look after all the teams to head the daily meetings and to analyze the data on daily basis, and then take the action if there is anything necessary for the growth.
Perfect. And if we spend basically a few moments more talking about the company, if you can tell us a little bit more about the business, the idea, the mission.
Yeah, sure. Uh, Actually, the idea is behind it's the same like we have Uber internationally. We know Uber, everyone. Okay, so we just it was the model to follow the Uber but with the taxis. Okay, because normally Uber they use private cars in the fleet. So the Easy Taxi they started by using taxis as their primary fleet to use for the customers. But in Saudi Arabia, actually, it was not legal to use private cars. So we again, as following the model, we started taxi here. But normally, people was not liking the service that much as compared to the Uber because again, Uber was using private. So then we discuss to rebrand the company to Jeeny, and we move from taxis to the private cars in the kingdom, and also in the other Middle East countries like Jordan and Bahrain. We also started in Bahrain certainly initially, then we stopped the country. That's pretty good. Now we have in the kingdom we have Crane. That's the Middle East company actually. There's a competitor of Kareem in the Middle East, Uber in the Middle East. So we have Uber, Kareem, and Easy Taxi. That's now it's called Jeeny in the kingdom as a three main player in the market.
So it seems that you started as a taxi company, as you said, but looking also at your website, you have expanded quite a lot.
Yeah, actually, I will not say it's a taxi company. The model was same. We were just using taxis instead of private cars. Okay, we mean taxis. I mean officially taxis, where we can say the written on the board this taxi. Okay, so these taxis are being used it's the same taxis as you can hire from the outside on the road, and you can call on the through the mobile application to your home on your pickup location. So we just leave the taxis and then move toward the private cars. Okay, we didn't 100% let them. Okay, we still have like 20% portions of the taxis. We because it's a part of the market. We don't want to leave them because we started with them. But the majority, 80% of the company portion is based on the private cars.
Okay, thank you for that. And what would you say today are the main challenges?
Yeah, challenges normally here is definitely first challenges we are facing is to educate the people here, because in Saudi Arabia definitely normally if you can say these are the last countries where technology reaches. Okay, so people are not very well aware of these kind of services because the e-commerce and all these internet related servicing companies are new in this region. So initially, the people were not very aware of this kind of things. So it's not only to market the thing, but also to ensure them that this kind of things really exist in the in the world. Okay, so this was very challenging thing, and same thing applies for the drivers, because even the drivers are working in the Middle East. They are not basically coming as the nationals of this area. They're mainly coming from the other countries like Bangladesh, India, Pakistan. They're also not well educated. So these two, both sides of customers and the drivers, they were, you can say, almost on zero level in this regard. So the biggest challenge we are facing is to educate them, the both sides, and involve them in this process to be part of it to increase the market share. Still, we are enjoying a good growth in the company in the country, just because the more and more people are getting educated and the market share is still getting increased day by day.
Thank you. We had Uber yesterday at the Global Career Forum, and may I ask how you position a Jeeny versus a company like Uber or Careem?
Okay, Uber definitely is a global image. Okay, in Easy Taxi you can see we exist in like 30 countries. Okay, Uber you can expect more than 100 countries. Definitely their brand name all over the world, and the rest of the companies, even the Cream, Taxi, and the other companies in the region, they are just following their idea. Okay, if I talk specifically in the kingdom, we can say we if Uber has the 50% of the market share here. Okay, and the rest 30% is belongs to the Kareem, and 20%, 15, 20% is belongs to the Jeeny. So we can say we are the third biggest player in the kingdom.
Thank you. And how would you say you see the company? What are the plans of involvement for next 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, okay. The plans are pretty clear. First, definitely, it's a growth, like I mentioned before. Our main focus is to educate more and more customers, passengers, and the drivers. Because in Saudi Arabia, the people are more concerned about their security, and it's kind of bit reserved society as compared to the other Western countries. So first thing is to educate them and to increase the market share. Okay, to bring them in the pool. Okay. Second thing is the diversifications. We are diversifying the service in the other fields like delivery. Okay. Now we started new plans. The delivery, the same drivers that we're using in the fleet, we can also use them to make the deliveries to the customers, B2B, C2C. All deliveries options are available here. Yeah, okay, and there's a big growth, big market here, because it's not easy for a company to hire a driver permanently on the job, because the legal expenses and the salaries, all these expenses are very high. So it's not really viable for them to to hire the drivers and create their own fleet. So it's a very big market that we are offering them our services. We are integrating our system with their systems, and so they can use our fleet as a delivery partner. This is the main area that we are diversifying now.
Thank you. If we talk about a company structure, could you tell us a little bit more on how the company is structured? If you could share more insights on the various teams and their also respective sizes.
Yes, okay. Basically, the head office for the company for the Middle East is based in Dubai. where the mostly higher management are sitting in Dubai. Because this company is under Rocket Internet, the Germany based. So they also have other ventures in the region, like helping Nimshi. They had Hello Food. They just sold it out. Karmodi, Lamodi. They have other all other ventures in the kingdom, in the Middle East even. So the main head office is based there, where all the companies are reporting to the MD of Rocket Internet is sitting there. Okay, so then on the country level, there's MDs that heading the country for all ventures. For Jeeny, if I talk about specifically for Jeeny, we have an MD here for the country, and then there's the VP for operations. That's controlling. Again, the VP operations, he's also responsible for all the aspects regarding operations and the marketing side also. He's heading everything. And after that, I'm responsible for the operations for the country, specifically for operations, not taking part in the marketing side, operations for the ride hailing and delivery side. Okay, every city has the operations manager that reporting to me, and then I report to the VP operations. Then we have a marketing department separately, that's based in Saudi Arabia also. The only thing that we have a separate our own hired the IT team that's developing all the softwares and all the application stuff that's based in Pakistan. We have a complete office there. They're sitting there, and they're full-time focus. Definitely, the reason to keep them there is we have the better resources and the cheaper resources here than in the kingdom. So this is how it's structured. For the Jordan, we have only one city. Directly we have a GM there that's managing the city.
You mentioned Rocket Internet. What are the synergies with Rocket Internet? To what extent do you cross-fertilize what the various companies are doing?
Yeah, definitely the parent company for is Rocket Internet here. We also have the local partner investors that are investing in the company locally, like the telecommunication companies, and then some local companies that they have some small shares, like 5 to 10% of in the company. The Rocket, the mainly for the Rocket biggest venture was here the Hello Food that I think they recently sold to Hunger Station. That's now they are the real market player in the food industry for delivery in the kingdom. And then the second biggest venture that they have is Jeeny. We have quite now we growth a lot. We have a good numbers of here in the region. In the region of the Middle East, they have other ventures. They are dealing with Wadi. They are dealing with helping, and there are also some other locally based in Dubai.
Just if we could quickly go back to the plans for the future, in which areas do you foresee the biggest growth in the coming few years?
Because you mean the area-wise growth, or you mean the company diversity?
Company diversity.
Yeah, diversity till now, the 100% focus is on delivery part, as I mentioned before, because if we are diversifying in the related businesses, the ride-hailing part, we have the enough good market share. Again, now there is growth in the ride-hailing part, but the thing is, the service is kind of mature here. After we have very good players in the market already, the Careem and Uber. Okay, so now there is organic growth that's evolving on time, and it's taking time. Although our main source of, you can say, the revenue and the biggest part is still the ride hailing, and that will remain for a long time. But now the focus is now shifting on the market, especially from B2C deliveries. Okay. Like I mentioned before, it's not easy for the companies here to manage their own deliveries. So here we are providing them the solution to make the deliveries easy, available for them. And especially the second thing is what we can mention here is especially the grocery delivery. It was, you can say there is no one that's doing it properly here in the kingdom, the whole kingdom, the grocery delivery. We started with the partnership with the Wadi, and now there are plans to expand the grocery deliveries only specifically in Jeeny, under the head of Jeeny, under the flag of Jeeny, and that will be a big, I will say, the part of company then, because the grocery is the biggest delivery portion in the kingdom.
Thank you. Can you shed some light on the apps that you are developing within Jeeny?
Yeah, app. Actually, we are using same one app. Before it was managed by uh, the overall the rocket from the Germany, but the things, it was because the Germany was the center of all the countries that was using Easy Taxi, but so the development things are very slow. So that's the reason we move our own software house in Pakistan, and we have our own and development team that's fully focused on the application. Okay, for delivery and for ride hailing, we prefer to have the same application. We just created like Kareem and Uber. I know they're using different apps for delivery thing, for food delivery and for the ride hailing. But in Genie, we just created a dashboard for, we want to have a one platform for all the customers. Either they want to request taxi or cab, or they want to order a delivery for their item, they want to send an item, or they want to request a grocery. Okay, all this portion, all this services under the same umbrella, under the same applications on the dashboard. As anyone selected one service, so the app diverted to that part.
Thank you. So today through Global Career Forum, we are advertising two openings. One is the country operations manager, and the other one is head of logistics. Can you just tell us a little bit more about those positions and what is the profile of the people that you're looking for?
Yes, exactly. First, I will start with just if you hold on a second because there's noise. Okay, let's start with the head of deliveries, the last mile. This position is actually related to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. As I mentioned before, we want to focus on deliveries more, and for as a last mile. So we want to be a partner with many companies that where we can provide the services. So this position is to is I can say to head the whole delivery part. So this the guy or the candidate, whoever will be, he will be the head of the delivery part in the kingdom. He will be responsible for um, to to get in to engage with the partners, to discuss the way of the deliveries, to manage the fleets, to manage their own delivery team. Might be that they can have separate offices. So it will be entirely different project from ride hailing. The whenever who is the head of delivery will take care of all aspects. Even I will say he will also be handling the marketing stuff. He will have the separate budget for the marketing, so that he has to look after.
What about work permits? If we're looking at also the international students that would be interested to apply, do you offer any help with the work permits?
Yes, definitely we do. As for especially for Saudi Arabia, it's not that difficult to move to Saudi Arabia, especially from the countries from the European and the Western. Hello,
Yes,
sorry.
we lost you for a moment.
Yes. Okay, so yes, we do provide the help. Initially, it's not that difficult. Means in the kingdom there is also a commercial invitation where we can send. This normally is valid for 3 to 6 months. Okay, initially it's very easy to bring someone from the other countries on for business. Other than that, there is also a residency options that we can get. Any company can get a residency to any employee very easily here.
And what are the behaviors or skills that you would like to see from the candidates?
Yeah, I will say the candidates should keep in mind that this is a very basic. You can consider this company as a very basic entrepreneur. Even though it's not basic, it's old and it has a growth. But the working style in the company is still same uh, like you start a very new entrepreneur business as any business. Okay, so the most important part is still the teamwork here. Normally, they don't operate in the fancy way and in the fancy style. Okay, we share the tables, we share the resources. Okay, and all the focus is on the results and the growth. Okay, so 100% there's a KPI system. The growth targets that's given for the monthly and the quarterly basis that the candidates and even the employees they have to achieve. So, and the environment is very friendly. There's no stress environment there's no bossy style from anywhere, and the management they just want to have they just have a look on the numbers at the end of the day.
So you mentioned performance and the KPIs. How many direct reports, if any, and to whom do these positions report?
Yeah, this position will report directly to the MD of the country. The reporting is on the weekly basis. Every normally for now every Monday there is a reporting time. We have a reporting calls where we discuss the performance of the last week, the plus and positive and negative things, and our suggestions and the way out for the next week and the next long term and the short term. All categories are discussed in the weekly call.
Excellent. So for those that would be interested to apply, what are the typical steps in the interview recruiting process? What can people expect once they submit an application?
Yeah, they should. If we know we are not expecting that there will be a highly experienced people, definitely, because if we are going to interview for candidates from the university directly, but the main focus will be on the data analysis. Okay, because these all are data companies. They totally work their all strategies move on the data. So they will be really looking someone who have sharp analysis process, who can read the data, who has even if someone has the experience to work on data, that they will definitely prefer them.
What prior experience do you require, especially for these positions? Is it better to have a big company experience or rather an entrepreneurial experience?
Definitely, they prefer entrepreneurial experience even more. For big companies, they do it because even we have the hirings before from the big companies. Okay, but there are also some bad experiences because if someone from big companies, it's hard to be adjust in the entrepreneur environment because it's not the very formal way of working style here. Yeah. So that's why they will prefer someone to be entrepreneur style and someone who is available, who is on the top of his job all the time, taking responsibility of their role, anytime, all the day, not just like 9 to 5 job. Even he will be available looking at the statics, the performance on the mobile all the time.
Perfect, thank you. And can you share with us perhaps a few examples of projects that these new hires would be working on?
Yes, the project where I can say normally it came with like the government new rules they came there that they want to increase the legalization. They want to have the nationals to drive the private car instead of the farmers. Okay, so it was a big thing to achieve. That was assigned to the one responsible guy to increase the national ride share, you can say, for the driver side. Okay, so this a kind of thing. Then there was a grocery startup. Okay, it was to be had that to achieve the maximum number of growth that was given from the investors within the time span, and the service quality. For the ride hailing and for the delivery, definitely in this kind of companies, there's always the service quality and the growth. The mainly, you can say 99% of the time, these two are the basic KPIs that they are looking for all the time.
And how would you say is the best way to get to know the team working at Jeeny? Can you share some of the people that you currently have on the team and their respective backgrounds? And here, I mean, for instance, how many come from Middle East versus expats? How international is the background?
I will say 80% of the expats here. Okay. The higher management, normally the MD and the VPs and the head of departments, they're mostly from the European countries, from I will say from France. The MD is from Austria. Okay, and there are also people from Germany. Okay, and the rest of the thing, the mostly then we have a big staff from Pakistan also. Then we have nationals in Saudi Arabia, especially in the HR department. Then the call centers, they are normally Arabic speakers we need here for because the population is Arabic.
Do we still hear each other?
Yes.
Okay, we didn't finish the last part of your answer.
Yes. Okay, where you will lose me?
When you were talking about top management?
Okay. So for the top management, like I said, we have from the European countries, from Germany, Austria, France. Okay. Then we have for management, we have from Pakistan mainly, and then we have the Saudi nationals. That you can say other 20% of the Saudi nationals are in the company, and we have Jordanian nationals because normally the whole call center staff that we have that's Jordanian nationals. So I will say it's a good mix. Okay, it's not there's no any domination of any nationality here, so that's even good for the teamwork. So everyone respect each other.
Excellent. And maybe a question to conclude, what gets you most excited about Jeeny's future?
I think I will say the Jeeny future is even more secure than Uber. Okay, because I have a reason for that. Because in Jeeny, I know it's a profitable company. Okay, we are not depending on investors anymore. Okay, we are not looking for any. Definitely, we are looking for investments always for the growth. Okay, but the level of growth we have here, we're enjoying here. Alhamdulillah, we are a profitable company. We are generating enough cash for our growth and sustainability. So now it's not like other entrepreneurial companies where there's you can say 50% chance either they will run or they will not. We are a sustainable company now. The only focus we have is how to grow and where to grow.
Excellent. Perhaps any last minute advice for the candidates, for those that would want to apply?
Yeah, definitely. I want to say don't be scared of the country. Because I don't know a lot because normally the candidates we hire before they were very concerned about coming to the Saudi Arabia. I don't know what kind of image they have, but when they reach here, they said this differently, 100% different perspective they are facing there. They were seeing and expecting there. So it's a very normal, cool, and silent place to work. No need to be worried about anything. It will be a very exciting experience to work with the entirely different kind of nationalities.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time today and to be here with us and to actually share more about Jeeny and the great opportunities that you offer. So thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you, Zana.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.